Hey there, hey, and thank you for tuning in to this Hump Day pod of Born to Be a Star. We have a lot to talk about today. Today is Hump Day, the middle of the week, and thank God there are only 2 more days left to it because I am tired. So tired. Yesterday, after going to the gym with my trainer, I came to the conclusion, instead of me looking for a way out of my trainer who has helped me get through a lot of things that I didn't think was possible, maybe I embrace the trainer and I embrace the change and I stay focused on health and I become better. Right? That's really the focus. So, taking that into consideration, right? The question is, we need to figure out how to embrace the reflections that we're seeing and allow our reflections to be something that we like, we appreciate, and we love. When we reflect on where we've been and where we're going to, we should see ourselves differently and we should love ourselves. Every day is an opportunity for you to recognize your star power, because your star power is the strength, it's the competitiveness, it's the chase that lives within you that makes you want to conquer things. It's taking ownership of mistakes or things you're not doing correctly and then fixing them, right? It's guiding yourself through your journey so you can succeed. That is the ways that you get through to the next day. Waking up every day and saying to yourself, yes, I can have a great day. Yes, I can learn something new. Now, maybe learning something new is playing the cello or chess or poker, or maybe you want to take a painting class in the center of town. Maybe you want to get in an RV and drive around America or some other country. Maybe you're ready to buy a property, or you're ready to finally get a new car and get rid of your lemon. Whatever the case may be, we should be finding ways to say to ourselves, yes, we can. Following the idea of yes, we can is the idea of never giving up. Because how can you love yourself or anyone else and be willing to give up on them? Life is not easy. It is difficult. The doctor's going to say some things to you that you're not going to like. You're going to have a bad day at work. Maybe things didn't go your way. Maybe you applied for a promotion and you didn't get it, right? Maybe you really went out of your way to succeed at something and it didn't work. Whatever the case may be, whatever you've done that isn't working, that doesn't mean you won't succeed, right? We need to be aware that even though life is difficult and it's not always fair and it's not always comfortable and typically it's irritating, that doesn't mean we can't fight to get to the other side of it. Just because you got a response that you didn't like, or you had to deal with somebody you can't stand, or you're at a light and somebody's not focusing on the damn light turning green and you're trying to go, doesn't mean that has to ruin or agonize your day. You can't give up on yourself or anyone you love, even if they are experiencing something difficulty, because you have to be the positivity in that situation. I'm reminded of the men and women that serve in our country, whether they're the Marines, Reserve, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. And I'm just filled with so much happiness and praise and gratefulness as well. There's no amount of thank yous that will ever succumb to what they actually deserve. So thank you to all the men and women that serve my community and my great country of the United States of America, and worldwide at that as well. You sacrifice everything to protect us, and there's nothing we can give to you that will ever add up to that. So thank you, brothers and sisters. I see you, and I'm never going to give up on you, and I hope that you never give up on me either. I will be your backbone in the darkness, and I will be your light in the darkness. I will always be here to send you a letter and send you gratitude and pray for you every day that you find hope and peace, and that God guides you through your journey of being a warrior. Your fight is the fight for all of us. And you don't fight alone because we fight with you. So that's just an example of a way that I can promote the never giving up, right? Somebody you love is sick. The doctor told you you had high blood pressure, or it looks like you might have like Lyme disease or something. Maybe get a second opinion or find a way that you can get through the problem. There's been so many things that have happened to people, and their automatic thought is to give up, but maybe that's not the best reaction. Maybe the best reaction is to find another way. Following the never give up is the idea of why not today, because procrastination and indecisiveness is never the answer. It's going to slow you down and stop you from making a decision and succeeding. How can you not paint the wall that's got a smudge in it? Why are you waiting like a month to get a dishwasher fixed? When are you going to wash those clothes that you need for work? What's stopping you from getting your car checked? Don't you need the car for work and all the activities you have to do? When are you going to apply for that job you actually want to work at? And when are you going to change your major because you don't think you want to major in biology anymore? If you don't organize your life, if you don't plan out doctor's appointments, if you don't take a hold of your life and you don't get things done today, you might not have tomorrow. Aliens might come down. It could be the invasion of the body snatchers, and I say it to you every day. They're going to want to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's going to be us. Don't we want to do everything before they try to eat us? Shouldn't we want to get things done? Why are we procrastinating, waiting forever to do things? I kind of like just making decisions and go with it. Even if it's wrong, even if I have to learn and I make a mistake, I'd rather just make a decision than not do anything and just stay and submit. But that's just me. Honestly. Moving on from the idea of why not today, let us get to the headlines with no media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed. They lie to us anyway. Donald Trump visited New York tonight, and he did a phenomenal job. I want to start this off by talking about Donald Trump. Tonight he's on Gutfield, which is starting right now. Let's go! And I'm excited to listen to this, so I'm going to skim through this podcast probably in the next 10 minutes so I can listen to Trump. I'm not even going to lie to you. Donald Trump did a phenomenal job tonight in his conversation with New York because he talked to New Yorkers, right? Just like he's talking to people where I live. I live on the East Coast with the hotty toddy trotty wannabe New Englanders. That's where I live. So he's speaking to me and my people. And it was kind of nice to know that he wasn't that far away. I can't believe Trump is on Greg Gutfield. I don't even know what to say right now. But I thought Trump did an amazing job earlier because he touched the points that really matter. Inflation, illegal aliens, and taking away your gun rights. The fact that one lady was in the grocery store and she had 3 apples and she had to put one away because she couldn't afford 3 apples at the grocery store. Isn't that a great representation of reality? That life is really difficult. Young people can't afford houses. People are trying to figure out how to live month to month instead of being able to save and plan and live effectively. And that is kind of traumatizing and concerning, is it not? Why are we so just content on punishing this man? He got, shot at again the other day, and I talked about it yesterday, and they still haven't figured out what happened in the first goddamn shooting. I think Trump touched on some great points today about inflation and and I think that it was amazing that someone gave him the benefit of the doubt by telling the sheriff what they saw. When Trump sticks to it and he talks about the things that Kamala is doing wrong, the fact that she does spin words and she doesn't actually talk about anything. He talks about the fact that she needs to get fired, and she is a part of the Biden administration. It's Biden and Harris. She can't run away from it. And that she was put in charge of things that she failed at. When he continuously talks about this, he succeeds. Which leads me to the next part of my conversation. Kamala Harris is a horrible puppet. They ended up picking someone who is far worse than Biden. She has a horrible history, a very questionable history. She's clearly a pathological liar, and she just kind of makes shit up. That debate last week was an embarrassment. And if you were watching ABC, I hope you're not watching it now. I had to have a conversation with someone earlier when they made some comments about Trump. Now, clearly, I'm a Trumpian. I'm a Trump supporter. I've been one from the beginning. I liked Trump when nobody else liked him, and I voted for him twice, and I don't feel bad about that. And I'm gonna vote for him again come November. But I'm gonna have to do a special ballot because I will be at a poll because I'm a poll worker, and I do it every presidential election, and I do it every normal election. That is how I pay tribute to my great United States of America. And I will do it forever, and I'll pass that on to my children. It's commendable to me, and it matters. But what I'm saying is that where does this leave us? That they're able to just put her in the runnings to be the president, and they didn't have any type of election like the Republicans did. She just kind of got there. It's just insane. Do you understand that Donald Trump has almost died twice now, and Jesus is definitely taking the will and saving him? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And I'm going to continue to pray for Donald Trump and his family every day like I do, like I pray for everybody. But dear God, please watch over him and his family in your heavenly name. Please, God. I think it's insane that they have gone so insane on the Democratic side that they have allowed somebody that can't talk to be the runner-up for the vice president. She went to the black media place that Donald Trump to when they attacked him, the chick from ABC, and the questions that they gave to her about hope and a bunch of other crap weren't the same questions they gave to Trump. When she was again asked about people dealing with a difficult economy and high inflation, she brought up this. I grew up in the middle class, in lawns, and blah, blah, blah. She never answered the question. She never answers any question. That's who you people want to run for the president? You all have Trump derangement syndrome. Dude, my mom has Trump derangement syndrome. She told me earlier today that I shouldn't talk about politics on my podcast, yet I have an entire segment called No Media Allowed on it where I talk about politics. I don't work for anybody. And let's hypothetically say I do or I did work for, I don't know, Dan Bongino or Fox News or Daily Wire or anything like that. I'm not going to be silent and be scared or fearful of anything. I am speaking the truth. You can do your homework. You can research the things that I'm saying and find out what I'm talking about. The Democratic Party is insane. They have been propagandizing LGBTQ plus minus side and a bunch of other smiley faces or whatever the fuck they want to call it, trying to erase what a woman is. And Matt Walsh has done a phenomenal job of what is a woman, and his latest movie, he's done a phenomenal job with that as well. So commending Matt Walsh for his impeccable job. Okay, we are the force. Kamala Harris is an embarrassment. See, Donald Trump went to New York tonight, and he had 20,000 people there. Kamala Harris can't go to Texas and get 200 people to talk to her. You see the difference? He is able to talk to people, all people, regardless of Democrat, Republican, independent, unaffiliated, orange and green and alien. He can talk to everybody. And Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party don't understand that. They're lost. And ABC is an embarrassment. The guy that was at that debate last week, both of them are a complete embarrassment. And there needs to be an actual investigation done on Disney and ABC and just all of that. Because clearly Kamala Harris got the questions in advance and they let her do whatever she wanted. And that is not American, and that's definitely not democratic. It isn't. I think that they're stuck with her, and they thought that this was going to be okay because they were going to be able to pull the wool over our eyes and pretend like we can't see her. But there's no way to unsee her, right? When she talks, when she does the heckling laugh, when she doesn't answer the questions and she gets confused and you can tell she's confused, like an elderly old uh, Biden. There's no way to fix it, right? She is going to tax your assets and whatever money you have. I had to tell my mom earlier, right? She's coming after your Social Security, right? Anything that you hold value, they're going to try to take it from you because the debt is horrible. And now, moving on from Kamala to the next part of the conversation before I get into what I put here, Jerome Powell lowered the number for houses right before an election. I wonder why, because they're all working together. Duh. But it's not going to help because inflation is still at an all-time high. And when he does this whack shit with numbers, it doesn't work. They could lie to us. They can lie to us and they can pretend like things are getting better, but they aren't. They could tell us that now we could do this and they're lowering the prices to make our lives better. No, they're not. The gas prices went down too. You understand what the Democratic Party is doing, right? They can't talk about student loan forgiveness anymore because they fucked that up. So now they're going to try to lower the gas prices and make it so people can buy houses, although you really can't, because all that's going to happen is the houses are going to cost more. Duh. Overall, Kamala Harris is an embarrassment. And the more they allow her to not talk, the more they give her easy questions. People should be asking themselves, if she can't answer real questions, how is she going to be the president of the United States of America and basically the leader of the entire world? How is she going to possibly pull that off? She isn't, right? She isn't. Moving on from Kamala Harris getting a free-for-all, being able to spout on Donald Trump with that debate for 3 people. It was 3-on-1, and it was totally whack. And I just wish to God that they would just cancel that station entirely. That'd be a blessing. The attack on free speech and gun rights isn't going to help Kamala Harris win, but they can keep going with that. Now, they've incited some stupid-ass rule in California, which no one should care about. I forgot to tell you about the fact that P. Diddy is likely facing life in prison. He tried to sell a plane today because he thought that was going to make him look good with the judges. I feel like this is another situation where these celebrities want to pretend like they're authentic and they're doing good. He got a key of the city and they took the key away from him. My God, he's not authentic. He's disgusting. The media never retracts false claims. They never say sorry for making shit up about Russia with Donald Trump or their attack on anyone that was against the vaccinations during COVID. They never retract anything. How about they retract the fact that they spent an entire night last Tuesday making up shit about Donald Trump, right? All these media fake pretenders go on a microphone and tell the entire world how harmful Donald Trump is, but they're the harmful ones. They try to convince everybody that they're doing the good, but they're enjoying their lives with their ridiculous salaries, all their money, and all the shit they take from us. So tell me how the fuck that works. It doesn't work for everyday Joe and Jills. It doesn't work for the working class or the middle. And whether you're in the middle or the upper middle or whatever part of the middle you want to be in, it doesn't help. When they don't react to false claims, when they pretend like they're not saying things they are, when they don't do their job and they allow Kamala Harris to make shit up for almost 2 hours on the TV and they side with her and they give her the questions in advance, just like they gave the questions in advance to Biden, and everybody knows what they're doing. Whether it's in Long Island or Island City or fucking Florida in Tampa Bay, right? Whether it's in south of Boston, or whether you're in LA and California, okay? Minnesota, whatever other states you want to think of that I mixed here, right? New Hampshire, New Jersey, Vermont, I can continue to go on. Montana, right? South Dakota, North Dakota, any country in the United States of America knows they're lying. And how's Pennsylvania going to do when Kamala Harris goes back on her word and does everything she said she wasn't going to do? The greatest part of today was when a fine group of individuals who are a part of the labor industry decided to not back the Democratic Party and instead back Donald Trump. I think that is a regimen for time and a regimen for the moment. Firefighters, police officers, those who serve the middle of our country is not going with Kamala Harris. The working class is not the Democratic class. It's the Republicans, right? The working people, the middle of this country that hold this country together, that get up every day and go to work, blood, sweat, and tear, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day, all day. The working people of our country that hold everything together are not so easily persuaded to continue to vote for shit that doesn't work. And how ironic is it that this group of individuals went against the Democratic Party when Joe Biden supposedly had him in his back pocket? I think that they made a bad mistake choosing their vice president. And I don't know how she's going to pick up the numbers. She might be up by 2 right now. But that's not going to help her. Today's message with Donald Trump was pretty clear and precise. He was speaking to everybody. And she doesn't have the ability to do that. When do we get a say? When we go to vote. And when we go to vote, we should vote for Donald Trump. Especially in America if you want to be free. I had to tell my mom today, tell me you're going to vote for Trump. Because how could you be voting for someone who's going to make you pay more taxes and make your life miserable? Tell me you understand. Now it's likely she doesn't because she's totally indoctrinated. It's not her fault. She was actually reading me headlines for P. Diddy off of Apple News. And I had to tell her that Apple News is woke. And she didn't even know what woke was, which means she's probably woke. Now, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because she doesn't understand any of that. But maybe I need to be her voice of reason, or anyone's voice of reason. Maybe I need to be the way that they get to the truth, which is why we do this part of the podcast called No Media Allowed, No Media Allowed. Because when do we get a say? Do we have to wait for November to vote, or could we be saying things right now? We do have platforms where we aren't limited, where they can't take away our voices, where they can't silence us, where they can't take away our freedom of speech, right? It's called Truth. It's called X. It's called all of those things. Go on them and find them. Moving on from the politics, let us get to red or blue, they're coming for you, the Matrix. The food industry is very strange. I was thinking about the fact that how much do they put in processed food? Like the frozen foods in the grocery store, or like McDonald's and like Burger King. Like, I don't know if any of that's real. I wouldn't make a good president. You don't think you'd be good? I wouldn't really pass any of the things that you have to pass to, but I guess Trump did it. Yeah, no. I just don't know, how they get away with making up shit and lying about stuff. Like, the food industry is telling you that fat is good and that unhealthy is healthy, and no one's questioning them. And I think what really brought my attention to this is the fact that JFK brought up the fact that we're an unhealthy nation, and he couldn't be more right. I like Diet Coke. I like Coke Zero. I like eating healthy. I like moderation. I like knowing what I'm eating, right? Having a plate and building off of that plate. Like limiting what you're eating, having a serving size, eating the correct portion of everything. That's how you target everything, and that's how you live effectively. Going to the gym, maybe getting a trainer, being active, drinking water, maybe switching up from Starbucks to Javy. Those are options that you have. There it is. But my question on this red or blue trip down Matrix, who's calling out the food industry? Who's actually talking about pharma and all the fucked up shit that they do? Why aren't people questioning the fact that we all took a vaccination for COVID and we literally don't know what we took? We don't know what we're eating when we eat at these restaurants that have all this preservatives and all this crap in it, and we have no idea what we're consuming into our bodies. I think we need to approach all this differently. Change how you're eating. Change the calories you're consuming. Maybe take away regular milk and have almond milk. Maybe convert from Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts to Javy or a concentrate coffee, right? Maybe make your own K-cup. Find a way off of sugar. Limit all these things that are not good for you. Are they trying to kill us or are they trying to rip us off? Honestly, it must be one or the other, or maybe it's both of them. Clearly, the food industry and the pharma industry want you to be sick so you can continuously need them forever. Because if you don't need them, they're not going to do great business, are they? There's a thought. Red or blue, they're coming for you, they're coming for you. The Matrix. The food industry is coming for all of us. They want us to be fat and stupid. And we have to be healthy and smart. Drink your water and eat your vegetables. Moving on from the Matrix, let us get to the main part of the conversation. Life insurance. It's kind of important, right? Are you getting the life insurance through your job? Like, how are you getting the life insurance? We're not going to live forever. Bad things happen at all times to people. They just randomly die. Heart attacks, getting hit by a car. Within the past 3-4 weeks, how many murders have there been, or hit and runs, or any of those things? I think that we need to be prepared and aware of what's happening instead of waiting and procrastinating, like I just said in the mantra. Life insurance prepares for anything that does happen so that your family can be protected, so that there is a plan. So if something happens, it's not just random. That's what it's for. So these are conversations we should be having, and we should be planning effectively. When you lose your credibility, what do you have? If you're not credible, what are you? You got to be really careful how you come across to people, your tone, what you're projecting, and your aura. Don't lose sight of what's important, or your star power, or your light, or your energy, but be fully aware of what you're around, right? If you're making mistakes, maybe try to find a way to not make mistakes. If you're doing something wrong, maybe try to find a new way to do it. Whatever the case may be, whatever you are experiencing, maybe you should experience it differently so you avoid making mistakes. Just a thought. When you lose your credibility, you don't really have anything to take its place. People don't trust you, people don't think you're honest, and people don't think you're worthy. They'll lie to you and tell you that they do, but once you've really lost that, you don't get that back. Let them talk, and I mean let them all talk. Your neighbors, some chick that got mad at you at school, your coworker, envious, hateful people that are mad and upset that you're succeeding. Honestly, when people talk about you, you should be excited. You should feel like you won the lottery because you're important. When people are talking about you and your nose is itching and you're the hot topic, let them talk. You can't be worried about others. You have to focus on yourself first. And I've made the mistake of worrying about others. But instead of me doing that, I'm going to focus on me. And you should be focused on you. Instead of us spending all of our time thinking about how other people feel, maybe we should spend our time thinking about how we feel. There are going to be haters. Put them in a line and let them get behind all the rest of them. Put on your hater shades and let it continue. And I've talked to you about hater shades. I've talked to you about the fact that people are going to be mean and envious and upset and unhappy. And you can't let that ruin or taint your light or who you are. You have to be willing to live with that and understand it. It's unfortunate that we have to live that way. It's unfortunate that, people aren't nice. That's unfortunate. I wish, there was an easier way for us to have the conversation. I wish we could do this. I wish we could do that. But maybe there isn't. If they're talking about you, let them talk. If somebody's upset that you're succeeding, let them be upset. What can you do about that? What can you honestly do in that moment that's going to add up? I'm not sure if you can do anything like that. And I'm not sure if you actually want to do any of that stuff. That's the other thing. It's not what you think it is. Maybe in some ways it is. But I don't know, maybe I'm just used to it. I've gotten very accustomed to the fact that people talk about me and people have things to say. And I've grown up around the hatred. Like when I was small, when I was a little girl, I was smart and I was talented and I was pretty. And when you're smart and you're talented and you're pretty, people get mad and they quickly become jealous and envious. And as you succeed and you grow, they're still envious. So I've always understood that. But maybe you're not fully aware of it like I am. If someone's doing malicious things and they're attacking you, they're jealous of you and they're envious. And the best thing you can do is get away from them. In fact, that's the only thing you can do. Because jealousy and envy aren't good things to have. They're bad. And when someone has that against you, you should feel bad for them. Setting trends. Because if you don't set the trends, who's going to? Don't you want to be a trendsetter instead of a follower? When I think about fashion and style, I do whatever I want. I literally can put anything together and make like a fashion wardrobe, and that's what I thrive for. I try to do things that no one else is doing. Today I wore pink pants with yellow shoes with a flower one piece and a blazer over it, and it was fire, and I looked really cool, and I'd wear it again. I do really insane things that probably no one else does. I go for my London, New York vibe, and I've been rocking that for a very long time, and I love it. I'd rather lead than follow. I wear things that other people don't have. I like wearing House of Harlow. I like wearing gold. Gold has been my latest color jewelry that I've been thriving on. And I like wearing my hair in like a little longer than a bob. I like my hair straight, so I get it straightened. I like certain things, and I'd rather be a trendsetter than a follower. Because when you're a follower, you always have to look for someone else to match off of. Now, there's a bunch of people on social media that everybody wants to look at, and everybody wants to get their ideas from. And I don't do that, but others do. But wouldn't you rather be a leader than a follower? That's the idea of trend setting. You're creating what the trend is and you're setting it. Let's be trendsetters instead of trend followers. Just thought. Adhere to no one. What is the idea of you asking permission to live? Or you asking permission to succeed? Or you asking permission to do anything? You don't need anyone's permission to be alive. And stop pretending like you do. Don't give anyone that power. No one deserves the power to think that they have something over you that they don't. This is your life, your time, and this is, you should have your ability to understand that if you're going to succeed, you're not going to succeed adhering to people. Silence is not the answer. And I think it's hilarious when people say, I don't really like to talk. You talk too much. Why are you saying things like that? Or when people act like that. It's really pathetic and it shows that you're incompetent. Okay? Let me just say it. If you can't hold a conversation and understand certain words and think outside the box and put yourself in other people's shoes and be able to talk people into things and convince them, if you've never taken public speaking, how many fucking times do I have to talk about public speaking? If you're not doing these things, how do you think you're going to succeed? By being quiet and not being able to talk to people? Then you're shuttering yourself and you're making your life worse. Just a thought. Silence doesn't help anybody, and the idea that you would assume that it does means you're pathetic. Fear should excite you. Instead of being scared of things, face your fear, conquer your fear, and make them something that you did, right? Maybe not spiders or like mice or some shit like that, but like jumping out of a plane. If you're scared of heights, jump out of the plane, right? Do the thing you can't do that you feel like you can't succeed at. Be that person. Be unwilling to be fearful. Be fearless. Fear should be something that you don't let steer you in one direction, but it should be something that you conquer. Moving on from fear to movies and watching things. Currently, I'm watching Donald Trump on Fox. And I watched Donald Trump tonight talk in New York. And I watched AEW tonight, and it was okay, but Hook won, no surprise. He's one of my favorite fighters. Found something called Tokyo Cool, looks okay. Ghost Adventures, Witches, Darkness Rising. I like witches shows, so I'll definitely look at that. Bite Size Halloween. Apple Tree Yard. I don't know what that's about, but I put that on the list. Maybe I'll try it. Monsterland. And finally, Storm of the Century. I'm assuming that's a movie about weather, but we're going to find out. That's on the list, and maybe I'll get to it at some point soon. I'm going to start my Halloween 30 Days of Scary in like a week, so we'll see what happens. Moving on from watching things to eating things. Today, I had some meal that it was okay. I don't know. I tried to eat lean cuisines this week, and yesterday I had one, and it was not good, and the other one I had today was gross. So I've come to the conclusion that lean cuisines aren't for me, and I'm not buying them again. And I think I understand why they were so cheap in Target, because they're disgusting. So that makes sense. That's why they're cheap, because nobody wants to eat them. And I really tried. I tried to close my eyes and just eat them, but it was seriously nasty, and it wasn't enjoyable. And I don't understand how they taste like that. It says it's comfort food, but it wasn't comfort food. It made me feel like I need something to eat. Exactly. Thanks, Benny. Yeah, it was gross. Javy update. So Today is Wednesday, and I've been drinking Javy for 3 days straight, making my coffee in the morning. I do half a cup of water. I do a third of a cup of cream. I do two spoonfuls of the Javy flavor of my choice. Then I add in vanilla concentrate, I add in vanilla syrup, and then I put the whipped cream on top. Shut the Yeti or my Javy cup and drink it. And honestly, it tastes just as good as Starbucks. I'm kind of surprised that I'm able to do this by myself. My husband says I'm not a barista and this isn't Starbucks, but dude, this is better than Starbucks, and I kind of like it. And it's the best part of this is that it's low in calories, and it's affordable. And it's far better than me spending $11 a day or $7 a day or whatever it costs for the drink that I would be drinking. I'm drinking a smaller portion of it, and it actually tastes good. So I think I'm going to stick with Javy, and I think I'm sticking away from Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. Nah, not for me. The idea of spending $13 on a venti because I have to order it through DoorDash when I'm at work is insane to me. Breakfast prep, because I want to start eating breakfast. So I think the easiest way for me to actually be able to eat breakfast before I go to work is to prep it in advance. Cauliflower baked ziti. So I'm assuming this is like this the cauliflower with cheese and sauce, and put it in the oven and eat it, because it's like ziti. So like the cauliflower is like the pasta, right? I have no idea. I found a recipe for it on Pinterest, and I'll let you guys know if I eat it. Orange chicken and 1-pan meal. So it's shredded chicken tenderloin and orange sauce that you're making from scratch. You mix it together. Then you put broccoli and whatever veggies you want on the other side. And you put the orange sauce over that too. Salt, pepper, oregano, whatever you want. Put that in the oven. Let that cook off for about 27 minutes. Take it out. Put it all together. Shove it on top of some rice. Boom. There's the meal. Now you can separate that and do like dinner prep for a couple days, or you can make that your meal prep for the week. Whatever the case may be, I say we try that. It's going on my list. Monte Cristo sandwich sounds fire. Skip really likes it. I think that's going to be the next sandwich that I try. And finally, coconut shrimp. Do we like coconut shrimp? I don't really know if I've ever had coconut shrimp. It sounds like something I try, but I don't know. I found this recipe for something called the cobbler wife. So it's a mixture of pasta, tomato. So she made her tomato sauce with grape tomatoes, pasta water, Romano and Parmesan, and she mixed that together, and then she added in the pasta, and then she added in some cilantro, and that was it. And it looked really legit, and it looked really good, and I think I'd like to try it. We'll see what happens. Anyways, this is the end of the pod. Thank you for tuning into this Hump Day edition of Born to Be a Star. Don't forget you are a star wherever you are. And, brothers and sisters, you, me, us, they, and them. Not only are we going to save the United States of America and attack Canada and all the rest of the countries around it, Germany, Ireland, India, Italy, all the places that are great, we are going to fix everything. The galaxies beyond the galaxies beyond the galaxies, because we are the beginning, the middle, and the end. The light and the darkness. The darkness tries to defeat us, but we laugh back at it and say we are the light. We are omnipresent like Jesus Christ. We have seen everything. We've been here before. We've done it before. We're the beginning, the middle, and the end all at once. If anything is going to defeat the darkness, it's us. And we know that. So we don't get scared. We don't get nervous. We don't get fearful. We just wait till the time is right, and we prepare ourselves to go into the war, because we're warriors. We are the light in the darkness. See your light. Live your light. Radiate your light. I see your light, and I hope you see mine too. See you same place, same time tomorrow. Don't forget that you are a star wherever you are. Let's go for another day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Night, night.